What is up, TrYumph Nation? It's Coach Matt O'Brien here for another episode of the Level Up Show. And today's episode, we're going to cover barbell matrix and how that can be an efficient and effective form of training with minimal equipment. I'm going to talk about intra-workout nutrition, weight belts, and finally wrap up with a little bit of why you should be intermittent fasting every week. Not every day, every week. So I'll reveal the strategy of why and how. So let's get to it in this episode. Let's start with the weight belt, which I'm about to put on. When should you use a weight belt? The formula I like to use, or the strategy is a better word, you don't want to decondition your core to do the job it's designed to do, which is primarily spinal stabilization. So stabilizing your spine so that force loads on your extremities can be tolerated without deflecting the spine too much. So the core, 18 muscles of the core, contract, stabilize the spine, push your organs up against the anterior portion of the spine to stabilize it so that you can lift heavy things. That being said, weight belts for your heavier lifts can basically just assist your core muscles to provide a little bit more interthoracic pressure to stabilize those organs against the spine on the anterior side. So just going to give you a little bit more stability for your heavy lifts. So my strategy is using belts for heavier lifts or when you're at an extreme mechanical disadvantage. So I've been training, I'm 52 years old, I've been training since I was 13, and without any significant injuries over that period of time. I've had maybe 4 times in my life where for whatever reason I didn't train for a period of say 10 days max. So that's a lot of training over that period of time. So I think this strategy works. I've only had 2 situations with my lower back, and both of them I wasn't wearing a belt. One was just being plain careless, and the other one was being fatigued and trying to lift a heavy weight without a belt. That was also careless. So both those situations led to slight injuries to my back, which I was able to heal with decompression and a little bit of therapy, rehab therapy. So that being said, I'm going to wear a belt. We'll get into the barbell matrix. For today, I'm going to be doing a 3 exercise matrix. What is a barbell matrix or a matrix? Matrix basically means you're stringing exercises together like a giant set or superset with no rest. But in this case, with a barbell, you're never releasing the grip on the bar. So continuing from one exercise to the next. So I'm going to break each one down while I'm doing the 3. The 3 exercises will be a power clean to a deadlift to a bent over row. So I'm going to do 3 reps of power cleans, 5 reps of the deadlift, right into 10 reps of the barbell row. That will be the matrix, and I'll repeat that 5 times with as much as 2 minutes rest between each matrix and increasing the weight as I go through those 5 rounds. So I'm going to show you this first round warm up and break down each exercise. And if you have a barbell and some weights, I would encourage you to try this after you've completely warmed up, and give this a ride. Do your 3 rounds or 5 rounds, and you will have a great barbell pull workout. This is pull versus push. So we're pulling using our pull muscles. So first exercise is the power clean. So the power clean, hips, feet hip width apart. Basically wherever you would jump the highest, that's where you want your feet. We're going to address the bar to our shins. We're going to grip the bar outside our legs, leaving enough clearance between your hands and your shins. You're going to set your weight into your heels, push your hips forward, chest out, drive your feet through the floor. This is the first pull, and then I'm going to extend the hips starting my second pull. So there's 2 pulls in a power clean. Let me show you real time. So here we go. Pull 1 and pull 2. Down, catch, slide, pull 1, pull 2, down, slide it down, last rep, pull 1, pull 2, and right on down. I'm gonna do deadlifts now. 5 reps. And 5, and go right into my barbell bent over row, chest out, flatten that back, keep the hips engaged, 2, pull into my belly button, squeezing my shoulder blades, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All the way up, and I'm gonna finish the negative portion of that 5th deadlift in the middle of the matrix. So that got my heart rate up to 85%, 86 of my maximum. I'm wearing a heart rate monitor, and I'm monitoring on the screen there. Sorry to look away. So for me, that's 146. 52 years old, like I said, so you can do the math if you so choose, but your max heart rate is 220 minus age is your theoretical max. So I'm taking off my belt. We'll get into some intra-workout nutrition. So a lot of money made in the supplement industry on pre-workout nutrition and post-workout. And probably over the last 15 years, pretty strong movement in the intra-workout. So what is intra-workout? Pre is obviously before, post is after. Intra is during your workout. So the rage before, for a lot of years, was BCAAs, or branched chain amino acids. Well, the science has shown that is not the best way to fuel recovery during your workouts. In fact, it's not just those 3 branched chain amino acids, which is leucine, isoleucine, and valine. It is all 9 essential amino acids. So that is the current science, and you can see the products filling the shelves already. EAA, intra-workout products. So essential amino acids is definitely one of the critical ingredients you should have in a good intra-workout. 2 other ones I'm going to mention that are arguably as effective or more effective in promoting recovery and strength and lean mass gains from your training. So those 2 ingredients, first is glutamine, and so I do have essential amino acids in this. I also have 10 grams of pure L-glutamine powder, and that's the most abundant amino acid in muscle tissue. And I definitely have noticed over the past 3 weeks doing my little experiment here that my recovery has been much faster from the workouts. So check that out. Finally, the last ingredient is creatine, 10 grams of pure creatine monohydrate added to this mix. So during my workout, I'm drinking this while I go and trying to finish it. Whatever's left at the end of the workout, you want to kill it. So the last piece of advice I will give you, and this will depend on your status, whether you're trying to lose weight or promote more muscle gains. So whatever you're prioritizing, you can decide whether you want to follow this last tip or not. If you are trying to put on muscle as fast as possible, then you'll definitely want to add some form of simple carbohydrate to your intra-workout. And why is that? While you're losing weight, we're trying to keep insulin levels low, because when insulin's low, fat gets burnt. Very simple way of explaining that, biochemistry and endocrinology, but when insulin is high, you generally are going to store fat. But when you are in a trained state, you are depleting glycogen, using muscle and liver glycogen during your training. During that period and immediately after, any glucose in your blood is going to go be prioritized to replenish the glycogen stores in your liver and muscle. But more importantly, relative to intra-workouts, insulin is critical, essential to transport nutrients into your muscle cells, those cells you're trying to recover faster. So in this, if you want to spend the money, I have a product called Vitargo, which is a carbohydrate source made from barley, and it's basically going to promote a little bit of insulin release so that I get these nutrients into my working muscles at a greater rate of effectiveness so that I can recover faster. So that being said, for the last 3 weeks, before last week I did a 3-week experiment. Every variable in my life is very consistent. My training is the same 4 days a week. I eat relatively the same nutrition. I follow the same Flex Forever nutrition strategy. So the only thing I manipulated during that 3 weeks was adding this intra-workout concoction. And I did put 3 other ingredients in there, but I just don't think it's realistic to expect people to mix 9 different things. So I'm focusing on the big ones, the heavy hitters: glutamine, creatine, essential amino acids, and then a carbohydrate source to affect delivery. So, but anyway, during that experiment, I absolutely recovered faster, and I absolutely got stronger, and I absolutely added 2 pounds of lean mass in 3 weeks. So that is supporting evidence, at least to me. I'm a N of 1 in my little case study, but definitely works, and I use myself as a guinea pig because I know I can control the variables in my life. So definitely would advocate doing that. Finally, as promised, let's talk about intermittent fasting. Circling back, if you want more information on that, just a little plug, you can see that big circle logo behind me, TrYumph Nation. That is our free Facebook group. That's our movement. That's my why to get America healthy again. So if you have any legitimate, serious interest in getting healthy, I can't provide the motivation for you, but I can provide the education and the inspiration, but you got to bring the motivation, the why. So if you have interest in maintaining and getting healthy, please join us on our free Facebook group, TrYumph Nation, and we will support you with information and more content like this. Also follow me here and my YouTube channels at Coach Matt O'Brien, and then we have TrYumph Fitness and Nutrition, both on YouTube. Find us and subscribe, and you'll get more content like this. So finally, wrapping up with intermittent fasting. In my nutrition programs here at TrYumph that I've designed, IF28 and Flex 42 leading into Flex Forever, the Forever Diet, the last diet you'll ever need, we incorporate a strategy called intermittent fasting. So what is it? In its essence is getting yourself at a minimum to eat in a 12-hour window of each 24 and not eat in a 12-hour window of each 24. So that's the basic, rudimentary, ground level strategy. Now to take it to the next level of effectiveness and efficacy, you would want to get to a point where you can fast for 16 hours up to 18. So 16 to 18 hours of fasting and eating in a 8 to 10 hour window every day. Or a 6 to 8 hour window. So if you do that twice a week, assuming you've got to the point of being metabolically healthy, which is the goal of IF28, in 28 days restoring metabolic health. So once you get to that point, you can go to a 5 and 2 strategy, 2 days of intermittent fasting a week, where you're hitting that 16 to 18 hour window, and that's going to maintain your metabolic health and efficiency and prevent metabolic dysfunction. 87.8% of Americans are now metabolically dysfunctional, which is no bueno, because ultimately that's going to lead to type 2 diabetes and exponentially higher risk for all the diseases that we fear the most: heart disease, stroke, cancer, Alzheimer's, dementia, and type 2 diabetes, and all wrapped up in obesity. So that is the essence, is restoring your metabolic function with intermittent fasting as one strategy. And guess what the bigger one is? Exercise. That's the wonder drug. That's the title of my book, The Magic Pill. Guess what the punchline is? Exercise is the magic pill. The leading cardiologist expert in the world and I'm going to get the exact quote, but he said, exercise is the wonder drug. So follow that advice, follow my advice, get your body moving, and check out some intermittent fasting strategies. If you want more information, join us on TrYumph Nation, and we'll be talking about that. There's some free content in there related to intermittent fasting. The Jumpstart manual you get as a TrYumph Nation member has an intermittent fasting program in it. So come join us. Hopefully this information is helpful. If you're watching this, please comment with what your key takeaway was, and also put in there what content you'd like to learn more of related to health, nutrition, training, longevity, and performance. Just give me some topics. I'll bring you training to cover your questions and areas of interest. So my name is Coach Matt O'Brien. Hopefully this was helpful. Please join us at TrYumph Nation. Let's get America healthy again. We're the most successful nation in the world, but now we're the most unhealthy nation in the world. We have the most resources, and we're not doing anything with them. So I am going to commit my life to helping America get healthy. Join my movement, join our movement at TrYumph Nation, and let's get moving. All right, so I'm going to sign off with two things. Strong is young, and the Y in TrYumph is you. And then real quick shout out to my military. I'm wearing one of my military shirts as an Air Force veteran myself. Thank you for your service. You do an amazing function for our country, protecting our freedom, and we appreciate you guys. So that being said, we'll catch you on the next video. Please like, subscribe, and share, and we'll catch you next time.